Season ticket holders for the Toronto Blue Jays were told in a recent email that their ticket prices would be going up, but no one imagined the heights of the price hike. Steve Gamester and his family have been Jays fans for 47 years. They were there at the first game the team played in 1977. Last year, his family paid $15,000 for season tickets. This year, that price is going up to $137,000. Steve is joining us with more on this story. Good to meet you, Steve. Who can afford that?
Well, not us. Thanks for having me on, Anne-Marie. Nice to meet you. Yeah, no, there's just simply no way we're going to pay $137,000 for baseball tickets. And I should point out that there's 3 families that share these tickets, my family and 2 others, and we've been together doing this since 1977. So yes, the price increase came as a massive shock.
I bet. So your family is a bit of a rarity for the Jays because you've been season ticket holders since day one. There's not a lot of you out there. Since 77, your family, as you said, have split the cost of these tickets. What do these tickets mean to you and your family?
Yeah, they're kind of like our family's special thing. It's the closest thing I have to a really precious family heirloom. Like you said, mom and dad were at the first game that the Jays ever played. And, I was born in 1975. The Jays came along in 1977. So they've kind of been like the soundtrack of my life. And, dad was a print journalist, not exactly a lucrative profession. He saved up every year for these tickets. And the thing I'll miss, of course, are the memories going to the games with mom and dad, with, friends who have come and gone. There's some friends I see once a year, and it's when I take them to a baseball game. So it'd be a really tough thing to give up.
Some families say for a vacation, this is your family's thing, way to spend time together. What does this say to you about how the Blue Jays view their fans?
Well, it's tough. I think you don't really succeed in anything when you sort of alienate your longest and most loyal fans. And, I understand the realities of professional sports. It's a big business and you have to raise revenue. But it just came as such an incredible shock. And, prices go up all the time, right? That's life. You just kind of have to deal with it. And no one should feel sorry for me, right? You have to keep things in perspective. These are baseball tickets. I'm not losing my job. But, prices go up, and 99 times out of 100, you just kind of let it go. You move on. But for me, this was kind of number 100. The price increase was so ludicrous, so insane. And the things I was hearing out of the team that they really sort of respected loyalty and tradition in baseball, I just wasn't seeing that. There's probably a few dozen families and individuals who have had tickets since 1977, and we renewed our tickets 47 straight years. And, for a good chunk of that time, the team was not in contention. But we renewed our tickets because we're baseball fans. We wanted to keep going. So it did come as quite a shock. And, sometimes corporations get greedy and you kind of got to call them out on it. So that's sort of what made me speak out.
So from $15,000 to $137,000, what are you and your family going to do?
Well, we won't be getting those tickets. I've accepted that. I've got to move on. There's just no way we could afford that. I hope this will be my last season in the tickets. So certainly I hope the Jays win the World Series. That'd be a great season. And the thing is, I love this team. Of the years and years of going to see the Jays, I think this is one of my favorite teams that's ever been put on the fields. And, I'll always be a baseball fan. It's hard not to be romantic about baseball. It's a part of my life. I hope to keep going to games. I just think it's a real shame. I think it's become sort of transactional. We're being rent evicted, and it's been a one-way conversation. And I don't think it had to go that way. These renovations, with the luxury parking and the private lounges under the stands, windowless lounges. I don't know why anyone would want to be in there during a baseball game, but there you have it. It might work for a few years, while Bo and Vladdy are still around, but teams go through up and downs. And when the team has to rebuild, in a few years, are people really going to spend $1,700 to go to a baseball game? The Jays ain't the Leafs, right? People don't show up when the team is playing poorly. So I'm afraid they might have miscalculated, and I think that's really unfortunate.
Steve, I imagine you'll still go to games. Your seats will just be a little further back.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, life goes on, like I said, yeah, I remember last fall, and I think this story resonates for a lot of people because, if you live in Toronto you know that prices are going up at everything, and also in leisure. And leisure is important too. It's not as important as housing, obviously, but these are the things that are important in life. You know, sporting events, concerts, cultural events. And when the price goes up on that too, it's tough. And I think that's why people are responding to this story.
Steve, thanks so much for coming on today. I saw your story over the weekend, and it shocked me. That is quite the price hike. Thanks for coming on Your Morning.
Thanks very much for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.